Hi guys, welcome to Tina Wilfred. In this video, I'll be showing you how I was able to get my setup on BTC USD and also how I was able to get other subsequent entries based on the same setup. So we can see that this is more like a swing setup because I was able to get this setup on the higher time frame, and since on the 3rd of September I've been nurturing this setup and have watched it play out to full target, today being the 18th of September. Apparently, what I mean is that I got this setup on the 3rd of September and it only played out completely on the 18th, today being the 18th. So this is second to the longest time I've been able to hold a particular setup, just like I did on GBP Yeah, a setup I got on the 12th of August only played out September, like the complete play out. So yeah, let's dive right into it. I'll try to be as brief as possible. Let's get into it. So like I said, this is more like a swing setup. Let me take these out. Okay, this is more like a swing setup. So first of all, although most times I start from the weekly boards, on this particular one I started from the daily time frame. Yes, so this is the point. Let me make use of this. I don't know if I should put this on the chart so that's okay. The only issue I have is the fact that it will be blocking some certain things and it keeps me uncomfortable. So I think we should I just want something that I will use and be so you can see my blue cursor. I'll call it cursor, yeah, because I'm recording this with my literally recording this with my phone. Yeah, so first of all, after price created a new high, this high we are seeing, don't worry, I'll bring it closer so that you can see what I mean. Okay, so the current high you're seeing, after price created this high here, this high, I'm sure you can see the cursor, the blue cursor. After price created this high, that's more like the second shift, even though it wasn't able to take out this high completely with a full body candle. But then again, that's more like the second shift, right? After this break of structure, and of course we know that price would always revisit a break of structure. So price came back to this particular zone, revisited the break of structure. This is the daily time frame. Revisited the break of structure and then it bought. All right, after it revisited the break of structure, we all know that somehow price will always come back again and react from another block. This is a pattern that I've actually noticed. I noticed that price will always revisit that break of structure, probably into an FVG, and continue its movement. That is after price gives a break of structure, right? It always comes back, revisits that break of structure, and then it will give another structure shift, which after that it will come back to that same break of structure. That is the demand zone. You can now call it a demand zone. Then it reacts from another block. Okay, or maybe when you use your fib to mark it, you will see that it's reacting probably from the 50% level or from the 61.8% level. I don't know if you know your fib numbers or fib figures. Yes, so price came back right into it. It came back right into it to react from the other block. All right, so first of all, I was expecting price to react from this zone. That's why I marked what you're seeing. That's why I marked this with my rectangle too. You can see my rectangle too. I saw this as the other block. I identified it as an other block because it also fell clearly into the 61.8% level on the fib, right? And even me looking at it, identifying my other block, I thought it would be reacting. So I literally thought that price will come down to this 105,000 level, but of course it reacted from this level which when I checked, that is about 50%, and then a little leg into 61.8% fib level, which is also a powerful level. So I've come to understand that the both level works is either 50% or the 61.8% level. So every time I try on with my fib to confirm my other block, if it comes into any of those levels on my Fibonacci, I just know that okay, this level might hold or it will hold. All right, so price came right into this place and then it went in. Now, because I was initially expecting price to come here, I didn't pay attention to this place. Even when I saw price was about to respect it, I did not pay attention. I still let it go because that was not my initial plan. I told myself if it is going to buy for real, then I'm going to follow up with a continuation. All right, so now on this same daily time frame, you can see that price, the moment price reacted from there, it gave us an inside bar and a mother candle. I'm going to zoom in now so that you see exactly what I'm talking about. So that you see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so now you see, I want you to be following my cursor so that you see what I'm talking about. Price gave us this candle. Already, this hammer here is already a good reversal candle stick. So when I saw it, I did not pay attention. I wanted a proper confirmation. So what I did was that I waited and price gave me this inside bar here and then gave me a mother candle that engulfed it. Yeah, so like I said in my previous video, I've noticed that any particular pattern that forms on the charts, maybe on the daily time frame, weekly time frame, is usually very powerful because somehow price has a way of, coming back to those levels. So just like any other engulfed candle, price always comes back to the engulfed candle, not the candle that is engulfing. You understand? Not the mother candle. Price always comes back to the engulfed candle. So that was exactly what price did. So I had to wait for it. The moment he created this inside bar and gave us a mother candle, so I identified it immediately as an engulfing candle, and I told myself that I was going to have my setup on it. So I actually put my position to waiting for price to come back. I had to mark the wick of the inside bar, that is the engulfed candle. I marked it and then I placed my position to. Then price came back and tapped right into it. Now this is not a small move. When you go to the higher time frame, you will know why it is not a small move. For price to go all the way from here and then move down to this place, it's indeed not a small move. But of course we waited for it. All right, so the moment price tapped into it, it went up. All right, so I just knew that the level would hold, and it actually did. All right, so the subsequent setups I caught on it, because I knew that there will be subsequent setups. Price has respected the one on the daily time frame. There will be subsequent setups on it, and this is also equivalent to multiple entries. But I was able to see these other ones on the lower time frame, that is the 4-hour. Okay, moving over to the 4-hour time frame, you can see how price respected the setup. I'm sure you can see the setup clearly now. Okay, so this is the first setup. You see what it took price. This is still the 4-hour time frame. You see what it took price to come back. It took it this to come back into this, and then it moved up. Is that coming back again? So I just knew that okay, price will most likely come back into this. So let me show you what I also saw that made me put the second setup. I saw almost the same thing with what I saw on the daily time frame. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but let me use my cursor to show you something. Oh no. Okay, so here I also saw an inverse pin bar and an engulfed candle again. So this I identified as an order block. It's an order block, so somehow I expected price would come back right into it, and price did. Here, price came back right into it and reacted from it. This is a setup. Price came back reacted from it. Let me zoom out. So after price reacted from it, you see that it literally went up again. After price reacted, the moment price came to it, price reacted again and went up. Now, that was when I noticed that price was having a difficulty breaking out of this resistance level. I don't know. For some reasons, it was having difficulty breaking this. Ordinarily, this was supposed to be a straightforward move, but price kept coming back, right? And for each time it was coming back, it was creating an opportunity. All right. So when price reacted from the 4-hour order block, after the daily, remember, after the daily engulfed candle, price created another order block on 4-hour, and then I put my second setup. Price came, respected it, and then it still came back again. That was when it started having difficulty to break above this particular resistance. It came back again, and when it came back, I also saw another order block. You can see the same pattern again. I still saw another order block, and price, I was expecting price of course respected it, because look at this bearish hammer. It actually respected it, but then came back again. Now, when I checked the reason, when it came, it now took me out. It invalidated my third setup. I wanted to know why and what actually made it to come back and invalidate that. So I noticed that it came back to sweep the sell side liquidity. All right. So which you see the setup clearly on the 1-hour time frame. For every loss I take, for every profit I take, I always go back to see why I won that particular trade, why price really respected my level, and why price disrespected it. So when I went to the 1-hour the previous day, after the setup was invalidated, I wanted to see why it did so, and I noticed that price took out the sell side liquidity. It needed to come back to sweep. So here, remember, it respected it the first time. After it respected it and it moved up, it came back again and then disrespected it. All right. So here, it took out this particular liquidity here and tapped in. There's no serious reason why price should disrespect it, but like I said, price will always do its thing. The market is nobody's own. There's really no serious reason, but this liquidity that is here, it was just after liquidity, so it disrespected this particular setup. All right. And of course I let that go. That's the third setup. So the fourth setup, what I was now waiting for was I was waiting for price to now break above the resistance. Remember, I said that I noticed that price was having difficulty breaking above this particular resistance, such that it came here, it bounced in again, came here, bounced in again, came here, bounced in again. So I was waiting for a breakout. And eventually, after price disrespected my third setup, it now went ahead and broke above the resistance. You can see it did that with this candle, a full body candle. So I just knew that I was due for a fourth setup. Yeah. Somehow I knew that price would always come back and retest this resistance. Because it has broken that resistance, it will now take that resistance and more like flip it into a support. Yeah, when price breaks above a resistance level, it turns it to a support level. And when price breaks above or breaks below a support level, it turns that support level to a resistance level. So that's like a basic knowledge that I've always known ever since I started my forex journey. Yeah. So I expected price to come in, and price came back. After it broke out with this body of the candle, I put my third setup, and price came back and retested that resistance, turning it into a support level. Yeah, so you can see this very red candle here. That was when it tapped in and validated this particular setup here, and then it moved. This is a low, like, it took its time. It even began to range at this point. I'm sure you can see my cursor. It took it time for it to get to the final take profit level, right? It took it time to come to this very final take profit level. You can see that price. Now, notice that my take profit level was the same all through. Why? Because from the very first setup, you can see that my take profit level was on this high. It was on this high. My take profit level was on this high. So that's more that's when I knew that it was more like a swing setup, and every setup that I had was always waiting for it on that take profit level. I did not change the target. So this is me having a major setup, which is this one, this first setup that I caught on the daily time frame, and then the subsequent setups that I caught on this 4-hour time frame. So this is more like if a higher time frame bias. No 1 hour, no 15 minutes, no 5 minutes. Everything, like the structure was very clear on the 2 higher time frame that I have on my watch list. So finally on the 18th, being today, price eventually got here. As at yesterday it was here, and today it got to this point and got to my very final target. Unfortunately, I did not gain anything from all of this move. It's crazy. Why? Because I am currently trading a funded nest account, and this particular account, I only found out when I wanted to trade the first setup that they don't accept crypto on Saturdays. So I'm not trading with my real money. I'm trying to see if I can trade and pass a prop firm. So when I wanted to trade it, I noticed that I can't actually trade. I can't trade BTC on it even on weekends. So it's either I put up the setup, it's either I put the setup and leave it to run over the weekend, which is a little bit risky because of the whole weekend gaps that, I don't know, that happens before Monday or every new week. So I didn't get in on the trade, and that was actually what spurred me to have these other setups you're seeing, because I really wanted to get a chance. But unfortunately, all of these moves that happened, they were not really very fast. They didn't happen very fast. They didn't happen very fast. It didn't play out so fast. So for each time you see it comes back to, it also falls in for this, each and every one of this setup, it mostly fell into another weekend, which made it impossible for me to profit from this move. But this is a whole lot of money that I lost on this particular setup. This is a whole lot of money. So yeah, that's a trader's life, and I've gotten over that. Yesterday I also took a trade on gold. I took a trade on gold yesterday. So I think I will wait for, I'm going to show you this particular stop failed. So maybe on another video, because this is getting really very long right now, I don't know. So maybe on another video I will take my time and tell you how I was able to get this particular setup on SAUSD and on GBP They are just two setups here. So I'll be showing you that. But until then, we'll see the next time I create a video. Please, if you got value from, no matter how little, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Thank you.